Hello, everyone. Janet Rangi. Thank you so much for following me the whole year. Thank you so much for being loyal. We've had ups and downs, but we always want to focus on the ups and learn. We want to learn from our mistakes so we can improve. This is one of those videos. I do not want to wait until Christmas is over because I know many people depend on my energy. I cannot go down. All right. I have to keep going. I have to be strong because so many people depend on my energy. So if Janet goes silent, everyone goes silent. So I'm back. I know I've been trying to record a few videos here and here. I write my things on the page in a small number. I mean, just briefly. But thank you so much. I always see your well wishes. I hope you enjoyed Christmas. Some of you, you're still not around. Okay, some of you are not around, and this video, I promise you, is not going to be here for 1 week. It's not going to be here for 3 weeks. It's going to be here for months and years to come. So we are going to talk about the 10 kinds of green cards, and there are many more. Okay, we want to move beyond the green card lottery. I love you so much for coming back. Okay, Miss Kami, Hassan, okay, Ose, and everyone, thank you so much for coming. I love your comments. Please continue interacting, Mary and everyone. I love you so much for always following. So, how many of you just know the green card lottery? Or you're surprised that there are more? And I know some of you follow Janet for so many years now. You've become experts on the different kinds of green cards. So I'm going to start with the most common, not even the most common. I'll just make sure I number all of them and you decide where you fall. Because I came to realize in the end, everyone has a way out. If you really understand the process and you keep yourself legal, there is always a way out. All right. Number one, EB1. Let's just say EB1. We are not going to spend a lot of time on EB1, extraordinary activities. We are talking about athletes. We are talking about world-renowned athletes. You want to come represent the United States? Voila, green card. Or you want to go to the moon, you want to go to space, you discover penicillin, you discover big science, you write a Nobel winning, award winning novel. EB1, okay, extraordinary talent. The word extraordinary is very, very important. Let's move on. Okay, I hope some of you, I see your comments and I love you. I love you. I love you. I break these things to make it simple for us. Okay, because some of us, when we go reading, they are very complex. But Janet comes in and breaks them down for you. Okay, let's go to EB2. EB2, most of you qualify for EB2. Most of you qualify for EB2. I've seen this with my own eyes. I know some people apply for EB2. They call me, probably they're somewhere in England, they're somewhere in Nigeria. They call me, Janet, I'm just waiting for the results for the EB2. EB2 is masters, PhDs, people who have documented, they've written, they've had citations. And I used to think it's only PhD. I used to think it's only PhD until I met my followers here who have gotten EB2 just with a master's. You heard me right. You heard me right. Yes and yes. And that's why I came. In fact, I felt motivated because can I just tell you that one of my clients got the EB2 record time. Ask me how long. Ask me how long. Okay, this is fashion. Don't worry. This is just fashion. Okay, this t-shirt is not, it's fashion. So don't get me wrong. Ask me how long it took for him to get the EB2. 4 weeks. And you're not dreaming. It took 4 weeks. 4 weeks. And my follower, my person here has a EB2. 4 weeks. And I'm talking about masters. And I'm learning. By the way, EB2, most important point you have to know about EB2 is self-petitioning. Self-petitioning. You do not need an employer. You can petition yourself for EB2. And of course, EB2, there can be many, many categories down the road, which is unnecessary for this video, okay? But I want you to understand that EB2 is possible. I've seen it from my followers, okay? And by the way, if you need more information on that one, janetrangi67@gmail.com. And I've seen people filing from outside. I can only talk from experience. People that have gotten EB2, the ones I know, they've been here in the United States. And some of you think you have to have American education. These ones did not have American education. One of them had African education and the other one had European education. One of them had never lived in Europe. One of them had lived in Europe. Okay, so I just come here to break for you so you know. So EB2, master's, PhD, also gifted people. You write, you cite, you've been featured in magazines, you've been featured in videos, okay, you've been featured on radio if people still watch radio. You've written for renowned newspapers, and actually, what did I want to papers? Okay, like the Lancet, New England Journal, okay? Depending on your field of study, it could be history, it could be literature, it could be science, it could be technology, it could be business, it could be accounting. One of those categories, you can qualify for EB2. You do not need an employer. Key point, you do not need an employer. I've seen this with my own eyes. One, and now they have something we call expedited process, where you can even pay so that it moves faster. I'm talking to you, 2 clients I've seen who have gotten EB2 green card. You are not dreaming. True story, 4 weeks. 4 weeks. One of them actually has followed me from home, which is very exciting. I think he's from, where are you from? From Zambia. Came to America with the family. The intent was to visit. But when he came, he saw good things. And he asked questions. And he said, you know what? I think from the tour that I came to America, from my tours, my intent was to come and visit and go back. But I've seen good things. And I've been here more than a lot. I don't know how many months. I've been here long enough. And now I want to change my mind. And then he changed his mind. And then he changed from visit visa to student. And then he started going to school. Then he realized, actually, he has a master's and a PhD. But in this case, they only needed a master's. And he was consulting with me. He said, Janet, what is this EB3? What is EB2? What is the da-da-da-da? He settled on EB2, and in 4 weeks, he came back with a green card. The wife and the children are now on a green card. Janet Rangi, 67@gmail.com. We can look at you. I have a full-time lawyer now on staffing, okay, who will look at your situation and advise you accordingly. JD, you had me right. JD, American trained. Okay, so that is EB2. You do not need an employer always. Let's go to EB3. EB3, most of you qualify. They just need 3 to 4 years of education. The most important thing here is you need a US employer. You need a job offer. This is very common. The nurses are very familiar with this. Many professionals have, and by the way, this EB3, let me just tell you, for skilled workers, any profession can qualify. Any profession can qualify for a green card if you get an American employer. But this is where the problem comes, the labor certification. Can you safely cross the labor certification, which is lengthy? And the US is looking at 2 things. Does this employer pay you exactly like any other American so that they do not suppress American wages? That can be easy for the employer to prove. But they will make the employer post that job on the bulletin for so long and come and prove that there was no other American interested in this position. And this is why you hear nurses shining, because their position has been declared a shortage area. But these other people mostly have to go through a grueling labor certification. And for the most part, if they say that there's a shortage, normally you pass that labor certification before they petition I-140 green card. That is EB3 for skilled workers. It is based on education, 3 to 4 years of education, and most of the time experience in that field of study. And as I said, if you find an employer who is willing to file for you, you qualify. But the problem is, will you be able to pass the labor certification? Because they will not petition a green card on your behalf. The employer will not petition a green card on your behalf under the EB3, employment-based green card for skilled workers, if you do not have that labor certification. Interestingly, by the way, that is the third category, right? EB1 we finished, EB2 we finished, EB3 for skilled workers that needs education plus experience, we are just finished. Now let's go to EB3 for unskilled. For those who are in Kenya, let us just call that juakali. How about that? How about that? Let's call that kazi ya mkono. Can you translate to my Zambians? Okay, we were handiwork, handyman, no education, just high school. You can even do job training. Okay, I can do job training on fast food. I can do but driving, you need to know how to drive. So basically, EB3 for unskilled. This one, no education required. You can train on the job. What they are looking for is just high school. Is it any different? No, it's just a green card. It's the regular green card for 10 years. All these green cards are for 10 years. If you finish 5 years and you are a good citizen who is following the law, you can apply for citizenship. Your spouse and children under 21 can benefit. For unskilled, this is the one we've been working with. All right. I'm not going to go into the details. February this year, we got a list from the recruiter. I've been working with that list. Some of you registered for that. You have met the lawyer. You have met your employer. You've been in those boardrooms. Raise your hand if you've been. Happy New Year, everyone. Some of these people following me, okay, it's no longer theoretical. They just receive an email from Janet saying, Zoom meeting. Some of you have not done interviews. We are targeting December. The employer is very, very motivated. Christmas is the one that just made him to stop. After Christmas, we are hoping he's very determined before the end of the year, but the recruiter is saying, no, that is too much. He might finish mid-January. But most of you, you've come to the interviews. You could testify. You're sitting in the boardrooms. They are very happy. They meet the lawyer. The lawyer introduces, my name is so-and-so. They see the recruiter, okay, after they receive, of course, the Zoom link from Janet, and then they go sit there. They go sit there. They see the whole world is there. They meet medical doctors from other countries. You understand? The whole world is there. And guess who is there? Janet is representing her people. Excuse me. Janet. Hey, she put you on the map. You know, when they're introducing themselves in the office, some of you are even in Kenya. There's these people who believed in this process. They believed in Janet. I was, oh my God, that's a lot. They put in the time. They put in this EB3 thing until one day they receive us. First of all, I tell them, okay, we are going to meet the lawyer. The first step is for you to sign a contract, to understand what job offer, blah, blah. It looks theoretical. Then they see me sending them the resumes. Then they fill in their children, they fill in their wives, they fill in their husbands. They come, I submit their payment to the recruiter. They go, wait patiently. One day they just hear Janet calling them, voila! Or the Zoom link is coming. Janet is saying we prepare. Then I send them the Zoom link. And then they receive the Zoom link. This is EB3, unskilled. While on time, they sit back. Then they realize, hey, Janet, hey, okay, you're connected. They meet people from many countries, international. Then they see the only sunshine is Janet. Then they come out, they say, Janet, oh, God bless you, Janet, I'm happy. Then after 1 week, they receive, you've gotten the job offer. Okay, now we are going to palm filing. Before they hear, the lawyer has sent an email. And then Janet writes to them, you have palm filing has been done. Your green card has been booked. No one else can take it. Hey, it's happening. So that list came to an end. Okay. But now, 2024, when it comes, EB3. Okay. For those who know me, if you are in my email, janetrangi67@gmail.com, when the list come, I said, I have to tell you first before I come to do the video. That is a deal, I tell you, of course, because some people are not ready. Some of them, they felt it was pricey. For these attorney fees are not easy. They needed time. Some of them, they just needed to trust the process. This is not an easy investment, but next year, I understand the process. Because I've seen the Zoom links, I've sat there, I've seen people from all over the world sitting there, and Janet is also there, toe to toe, you understand, representing her people, you understand? So it's going to be easy. I always like pioneers, but come next year, there'll be no excuse. I remember when people are coming consultation, Janet, have you done this EB3 before? I'm like, but I'm a beneficiary of EB3. It always works. It always works. Trust in the process. But now we have people who've been through the process. They have jobs in their hands. They have their green card has been booked. They have done something called PAM filing, which is permanent residency, because that job has to be attached to a green card so that 2-3 years from now, they don't say there are no more green cards. It is what it is. So that is EB3, unskilled, jua kali, no education required, just experience. But you have to have an employer, United States employer, give you the job offer. After the job offer, they have to go through the lengthy process of labor certification, whereby they have to ensure that there is no other American who was willing to take this job. After that, of course, they move to the final step, which they will have to show the immigration 2 things. Number 1, employer, job offer. Number 2, that job has received clearance from the US Labor Department that it's now free to go to a foreigner. Then once the I-140 is approved, that is a green card. At that point, the law can even do adjustment of status. If you're in America on a student visa, they can now do adjustment of status plus a work permit. You can even pay expedited process, which is 2,500, and it will move faster. That is how it works. The green card EB3, that was number 4. That is happening. Most of them I just teach you, you go and do yourself. And this one, we got a lawyer, we got a recruiter, I put it in your hands. Okay. So that is EB3 for unskilled workers. That is green card number 4. All right. So now let's go to EB4. EB4. This one is for religious workers. You guys, pastors, you have a degree in masters in divinity. You're a catechist. I don't know what. You're a sister, you're a nun, you've done these religious studies. If you have an organization, a non-profit, or a church that is willing to sponsor you, voila, you qualify under religious workers. That is what we call EB4. Employment-based. Remember, I'm just talking about employment-based green card so far. And we've just covered 5 categories already. Religious workers, you get a job offer from a religious organization, then you work for them, and then you say, you know what, guys, I've been so nice to you. I've been pastoring here. I've been enjoying the flock. I've been representing people at the prison. I've been doing good things. Are you willing to give me a green card? They say, sure. Then they file for you, EB4. Number 5, I'm not going to spend time on that. That is a green card number 6. It's called EB5. This is for investors. Does any one of you have $1 million or $500,000 to invest into a business? And then you look at underserved areas, you go open a business, they will give you a green card. That is taking time because so many countries of these rich people have invested in that one. And by the way, Sunshine people, most of the time you have record time, you have no idea. People from the Sunshine continent, when they apply for green cards, they get them the fastest compared to any countries in the world. In case you didn't know, that is just by the way, it goes faster. Especially employment-based, they have what we call a quota system. First come, first serve. You have a priority date, and I love your comments. Keep commenting. I love you, I love you, I love you. Priority dates, they come depending on when you filed. But it's just that people from the Sunshine continent are not too many. In other words, AKA, Sunshine, AKA Africans. Okay, you are not too many. So normally your priority dates come very quick. People wait 1 year, 2 years. And by the way, as you wait, you have a work permit. Okay, now that was EB5 for investors. Most of, if you don't qualify, it's just like EB1. I didn't want to spend time. I'm not going to spend time on EB5 either. So let's go to green card. Another green card that is very common. I think you know it. Green card through lottery. I'm not going to say that. Okay, you never know. Some people follow me, they don't know this. You have to keep an eye on this page or go to the State Department or uscis.gov and read more about these things. DV lottery every October, November. The results always come out in May. Like some of us, we are waiting for the green card. Is it 2025? The results will be out in May 2024. We are all waiting, and good luck. I know most of you follow me. You have applied for the green card lottery. That is just number 7. Some of you thought that is the only thing. And Janet has already mentioned 6. That is just the 7th type of green card. People come and get green cards in many other ways. Green card number 8, family based, legitimate marriage. The key word here is what? Legitimate marriage to a US citizen can give you a green card. Okay, what is the key word? Legitimate. This is one thing I have to point out, because I do this, I receive many things. This thing of legitimate, it has to be legitimate, but some of you, you don't also know, like in dating, you have to know who you're dating. In the end, you have to make sure you have good moral character. I'm not going to say who is marrying who, but both of you have to have good moral character, especially the one giving you the green card. What do I mean? They have to file their taxes on time. They have to be able to earn money to feed you, because they have to prove an affidavit that you are not going to be a problem to the US. So you go just, you get, I'm married, I'm married. The person doesn't even pay taxes. You don't even know the last time they got a ticket on the road. No, tickets are not bad. You don't know if they ended up somewhere in a jail, my friend. They don't qualify. They can, but it's a problem. Okay, and you cannot go asking, you cannot go asking for food from the US because you have someone to sponsor you. They are serious about these things. Okay, so that is just a green card number 8. It is the truth. If you didn't know, you cannot be a public charge. You cannot come here and just go to the social services and start asking for food and start asking for free money. Oh yeah, no. You have to choose wisely. I love you, Lucy from Limuru. Okay. Another one, which is green card number 9, which I think I'll go up to 12. I don't know. Family based, meaning you can piggyback. Some of you are, your siblings. You have a brother, you have a sister in the United States who becomes a citizen. Yes, they can file for you. Okay, someone on a green card. Let me spend time on this one. That's how I know my people. Someone on a green card can still file for you a green card through marriage, because that question I get a lot. Let me make the difference here, because let me spend time on this one. There's green card. Okay, you get married to an American citizen, they can file for you a green card. You get married to a permanent resident or a green card holder, they can file for you a green card. And you ask me, Janet, which one is better? The most important thing is for you to know something we call priority dates. Priority date is first come, first serve. So for a United States citizen to make an application for you, depending on the center where they make the application or where they live. For example, if I live in Texas, I'm going to file in the Texas center. There are some people who file in the Nebraska center. There are those who file in what do you call Vermont. Then there's another one. What is it? It's in Washington. Some of you remind me. There are like 5 of them, and all of them have different priority dates. Some are faster than other. California, okay? California, Texas, Nebraska, Vermont, and then there's this one that has an interesting name in Washington. So you find that maybe it takes 6 months minimum to approve, because if you marry a United States citizen, you file something called I-130, petition for a green card through marriage. I-130 can take 6 months to approve, up to 11 months to approve. If you are maybe in Nebraska, it can take maybe 11 months to 16 months. So that is just for a citizen. Approval means they've laid the foundation, they've determined that this marriage was legitimate, they have approved. Now the ball is in your spouse. If they're outside the country or they're here, they have now to prove other things, because the US has decided this was a legitimate marriage. So let's see what the spouse has to offer. So that is what you look at, is the filing date. It's they call it priority date. Anytime you start a process in America, you will receive something called a notice. That notice will tell you your priority date, meaning going forward, you can go to the bulletin and check how far your application is pending. So if you see there are processing people who applied in January 2024, you applied in March, then you are moving close 2024. It will give you an idea. And if you keep on checking, you'll be able to know, it takes them about 1 month. or it takes them 6 months just from 1 month to another. So you can use the bulletin to approximate. So that is the difference. Now let's go to the permanent resident. If you file in a Texas center, the citizen is taking 6 months to 11 months to approve the I-130. A permanent resident, it takes longer. It can be up to 18 months to 3 years just waiting for that to be approved. So then it will be up to you to make a calculation. Do we wait, marry, and file as a citizen, especially if that person is a permanent resident and they're waiting? If they've only been in America for 2 years, for heaven's sake, go ahead and file and line up. That is my whole point. I don't know why I'm explaining a lot. But let's say they've been here for 4 years. They just have 1 more year to become citizens. You have to do that math and decide. Because you'll be like, let us wait until she becomes or he becomes a citizen, then we can file. So the most important thing is the timing. I want you to understand priority dates. Once you understand the priority dates, you understand the filing centers, okay? Then you will know how to go about it. But let me mention one thing that will make the biggest difference. This one I learned from the class. Take it from me. Take it to the bank. If you have a problem, and by problem, I don't mean any criminal. Criminal is very difficult to overcome in America, very difficult. The immigration is very strict when it comes to a criminal record. But let's say it was just you overstayed your visa or something like that. A permanent resident cannot rescue you. Okay? Only a citizen can overcome that. Only a citizen can overcome that situation there. And even when they overcome, they have to go through a waiver process, what we call a waiver process. And those waivers, we have 2 kinds of waivers. Okay, I had to spend time on this one. Let's say you overstayed your visa and you married an American citizen, you broke the law. So they have to waive that problem. If you actually come to the United States through the embassy, it means they gave you permission. Good. You came at the port of entry. They ushered you in. You say, good morning, good morning. What brings you to America? I'm coming to visit everything. Good. You did the right thing. The law says you have to see them face to face and be welcomed in and be ushered in. Then you reach here, you overstayed your visa. You broke the law. But guess what? If you marry an American citizen, they'll have to go through a waiver. That waiver can be done within the United States. Why? Because you are actually welcomed at the embassy. You are actually welcomed at the port of entry. And now you are just explaining your sins away. But let's say you sneaked in, which I don't know anyone that sneaks from the Sunshine Continent. Is basically impossible because we have Atlantic oceans and we have oceans in between. But let's give a scenario where someone sneaked into the United States and they marry American. They will have to file a waiver to forgive that sin. But even with that waiver cannot be waived within the United States. That person who sneaked has to exit, go back to the consular officer in the home country and present that waiver. But from the class, that waiver is safe. It's basically saying, okay, we know you did you did bad things, but we are giving you this waiver so you can carry, so you feel assured that when you come back, they will open the door to you. So you see why it's important. They follow the law. Because the law says for you to come into the United States, you have to be welcomed face to face at the port of entry. So even if you sneak in, the American citizen might want you as a spouse. The law will give them their right. But my friend, the waiver will have to send you back for what we call consular processing. So you can get good permission. But the good thing, the waiver will come from America. You will have it in the envelope. Some people, it can be scary to exit. Again, talk to your lawyer. Talk to your lawyer. Do not, this is just a video. I can't wait to finish my class. I'm starting again another class in January, which is going to take me over the top. Okay, because this one now I'm targeting the Department of Justice. I want to be registered. Okay, I have the knowledge. I have basic law. I have the certificate. This is where the knowledge is coming from. That's why you hear me saying consult your lawyer. Do you understand? But I'm sharing with you facts. So you always, before you exit, before you do just one mistake, usually can cost you a lot. So did I make sense? Because there's usually this confusion. Janet, I'm married to a permanent resident. Should we file or should I wait until this person becomes a citizen? And the simple answer is both of them can file for you. A citizen can file you through marriage. Someone with permanent residency can file for you through marriage. The most important is the timing. So you have to sit down with a calculator and look at which center did you file. And then also look at you. If you have any sins, if you have a sin in you, citizen, okay? And thank you. I had to spend time on that. So those are the different kinds of green card. That was just marriage. And then I went to the siblings. Sometimes it takes forever. I am a United States citizen. I filed for my brothers and sisters. They had to come through other means. They're also waiting for priority date. One of them I filed in 2011, another one I filed in 2012, another one I filed in 2014. I've never had anything. But thankfully, they are here through other ways. They are here through other ways. But that's how long it takes for people who are not immediate family. And before I go to the next one, I want to define for you what an immediate family means when it comes to immigration. So when you're hearing that marriage-based green card, who comes? Immediate family, by definition, is spouse, meaning husband or wife, and children under 21 and married, meaning if they're 19 and married, they do not qualify. And there's this thing of, Janet, but my daughter is turning 21. I think most of the time they have something you can age. You can age in the process. The goal is to put in the application. It has to be accepted when your child is still under 21. They understand that the process can take longer and the child can become 22. Okay, but by the time of filing, how old is the baby? You understand? Or how old is that child? So that is, I had to spend time on family-based green cards. Family-based could be marriages, could be relatives, immediate and distant relatives. Distant relatives, these are brothers and sisters. Cousins do not qualify. Okay, grandmothers do not qualify, I think. They might, I don't think so. But mostly it's just brothers and sisters. But those ones, it takes forever. As I told you, for me, they are still on the line waiting. But thank God they came through other means. Let's talk about this one, which is very common and it's very sensitive. Okay, this one is very sensitive. There's something we call violence against women. Okay, VAWA. So if you come here and you feel threatened, and domestic abuse, things like human trafficking, serious offenses that I don't like talking about. They're scary even just to think about those. You can always consult a lawyer for a green card. Now, you cannot go making up stories. You cannot go threatening your spouse, because your spouse also has a right. Okay, there's this tendency of people who just come here and they just decide that I'm just going to say this against him. I'm just going to say this against her. No, 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 no. It has to be legitimate, and you have to be able to back up these stories. But for the most part, number one, safety first. Safety first. I always say, if your life is in danger, you have to consult, you have to call for help. What you cannot do is to make up stories. It's not of she said, he said. Do you have police reports to back you up? Do you have hospital reports to back you up? Do you have psychology, therapy, appointments? Do you have any wounds? Like, what is the documentation you have? Do you have text messages showing that this person was taking advantage of you and hurting you? So you cannot just go making up stuff. Okay, let's not take advantage of the system. There are people who come here, even when the spouse just coughs, they start calling the police. The police are busy with traffic lights. They are busy taking care of other people who are bad people. They are not here to police you. So do not misunderstand that. You might, especially here, they don't play. You call them twice, they will throw you in yourself if you are not legitimate. So you have to always make sure that you are asking for help legitimately. It's not being vindictive. It's not this. The system is smart. Trust me, even us women, don't think just because I'm a woman, I'm gonna get away with it. And no, 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 no. The system is smart. Even men can be abused. There are men who are abused by women, and the system will catch you. So you cannot go just saying, because I'm a female, I'll just go and say this about men. Okay, but of course, men control your anger. I always say you can even go for depression treatment. That could be the issue. So that is just another one. If you want to read more, of course, VAWA, okay, violence against, women. And by the way, if you marry an American citizen and they abuse you and your life is in danger, you are allowed to file alone. I've met a case where someone did not know that if you have sufficient evidence that you fear for your life or you've been abused by a US citizen, the law allows you to go and file independently without that citizen. So this is some of those things you just have good to know information. Of course, there's this other green card that comes through Ukimbizi, Asylum. Let me spend time on this one because it's very common. Okay, I'm going to spend time on the pros and cons of this situation here. Okay, of course, when it was designed, is for, remember, asylum, you have to fear persecution, political, social, political, social, religious. So you have to basically fear for your life. So let's establish that. Okay, you have 150 days once you file for them to respond. You can't go and call him, but I made an application 3 weeks ago. I made an application 5 weeks ago, and I have not heard anything. No, the law says 150 days before you start calling people. Okay, and you have 1 year. The law says 1 year. You have 1 year to decide to declare. Okay, some of you don't wait until you become illegal. If you fear for life, if you fear for danger, don't wait. You are given a visit visa for 6 months. You say, but okay, busy. I still have asylum for 1 year. You break the law by overstaying. No, I would rather decide before the 6 months, or at least try and extend the visit visa as I think through it. Because the whole goal is to remain legal at every point. Some of you don't take advantage of extending. You don't extend those J1 visas. You don't extend the visit visa. You just stay there. No. Not smart. Not very smart. I love you. So you can buy time through extensions as you think through these issues. But by all means, if you extend, you're good. But if you do not extend, please file before you break the law. Because one day, another benefit might come that has nothing to do with asylum, and they will remember the sins you had committed. But if you just made everything clean, you can always fall back on something because you obey the law. Everything you're obeying, you're extending here, you're asking for extension here, you're doing something. You fall out of class, out of status. Don't just sleep. I've done a video here. You saw testimonials. People coming and saying, Janet, I had fallen out of status. I had no idea there's a benefit that I can go to school and reinstate myself. There's always a way out. Just ask questions. So this one, the asylum, as I said, you have 1 year to declare, but as always, do not fall behind. Do not break the law. Okay, make sure you extend or you file before your I-94. I love how these days you just Janet Ranki followers, they use terminology. So when they ask you I-94, you know exactly what I-94 is. Of course. Entry departure record. So make sure you file before your entry departure record expires. If not, extend that entry departure record as you think for means. This is the catch. We see people who've been here 2, 5, 10, or 20 years on that asylum. So what is the problem? Because when it was designed, you need to have an immigration attorney, an immigration judge to adjudicate on this case. But it's a backlog. So many people around the world have asked for it. And so they do not have enough. So the backlog is huge. And I'm not saying some people don't go through quick. They do go in quicker. You have to find an immigration attorney and a lawyer. And of course, I'm going to cover that in class. That is my goal. Okay, this is a passion. That's why I decided to go, because this time I want to go all the way. And I'm going to the university. Okay, I'm going to the university to cover that part where they will help me through. Okay, working with a nonprofit at the same time training me towards achieving the goal, because the school says it's only 2,000, the whole nation. So this is a field that has there's no service. It's basically underserved, not enough people who understand the law, who can represent you in the courts. So I want you to understand that because of the backlog, seeing home might be history for a long time. Seeing home might be what? History for a long time. Okay, but again, safety first. So let's say the lawyer goes through that is a form of green card. Right? You fear persecution, you go, the judge is happy with your case, they clear you, voila, you'll get a green card. And the green card again will benefit the whole family. If your people are home, they'll join you. Okay, you cannot say you fear for your life and you go back. If you go back, who will welcome you back? You said it was dangerous, so you are going there. It means everything is back to normal. So these are some of the things you have to know. I feel like I've rambled a lot, but I think I've talked about, and this is not the end. This is not exhaustive. My whole point for this video was for you to understand that don't just be simplistic, thinking it's just the green cards, we know it's just lottery and marriage. No, 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 no. There are many, many kinds of green cards. And what is the key point? When you enter America, stay legal. There's always, and surprisingly, the more I do this, I've met people who have even extended their visit visa 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I was like, okay. Learning never stops. Learning never stops. And the good thing, they are very, very objective. Even when I went to class, it means we asked for this, you showed this. The law says this, you showed this. This is wrong, this is right. There are no stories. Very, very objective. Very, very objective. I love you so much. Merci beaucoup. Asanteni sana. Muchas gracias. People are saying compliments of the season. I'm following compliments of the season. Lucia, Joyce, Francisca, everyone. For those of you who did not get a green card in 2023, do not give up. As you can see, Janet is now focusing on permanent visas. And there are many, many things I've learned through the process, through success, through failure. And to me, failure is very important because when you fail, there's a lesson you always learn. And that lesson makes your application even stronger. Do you understand? I've learned even why some of the applications are stronger in Canada, why some applications are here very strong on change of status. I learn as I go. I read, I meet real clients, they tell me these stories, and all that goes into my computer. So come next year, 2024, the service is going to be even superb. And can I just, for those who came late, we even have a JD. We have an immigration attorney with us on the team. I always feel nice when I just say, attorney, I have this case here. Can you please consult? Excuse me. And myself, I'm going back to school. We are doing everything the right way. No hiding. Okay. The right way, the right things. I love you so much. Okay. You have someone who has, I handle your sleepless nights. I do. Okay, I do. I have most of you, because of fear. You don't know, Janet. Do you think they will approve? And then I said, they will approve. Oh, Janet, thank you, thank you. I know what you go through, and I'm here to hold your hand. If you have any questions about any kind of the green cards I've talked about, or any kind of change of status, you want to know more information, you want to know more information about changing your status, you want to know more information about getting EB3, you want to have more information about EB2, any kind, just go to janetrangi67@gmail.com. Okay, students, of course, their embassies are tightening student visas. Don't come that easily. You have to start the process early, okay, because the embassy is filling for the fall semester, for the summer semester. Okay, for the visiting visas, of course, again, the embassies feel very quick. But if you need any of those and you have any of those questions about anything I've mentioned on these videos, remember janetrangi67@gmail.com. Oh, you know what? janetrangi.com. I know some of you you don't have time to go, but Janet has a website. But there's a reason. I just know my people. I make it easy. They know if I say janetrangi67@gmail.com, it's more likely Janet to read my email. But if I go on the website, I don't think so. We understand. And even the email on the website, okay, is still, they merge. I just make the Gmail easy, but that one on the website is still legitimate. Even if you use that one, it will still merge together. Our technology team has everything in one place. Okay. Any questions? People are following. I was surprised that you showed up. I thought you had gone home for Christmas, but I'm very happy. Thank you so much for a good year. You could have gone somewhere else, but you chose to come and spend time with Janet. I don't take anything for granted. I really love you so much. Okay. I am not perfect, but I try my best. Okay, I am not perfect, but I try my best. I know, and some of you never know that Janet has to go on Christmas. I love you. Even Christmas, Janet, I need this. I understand. Even at 2 in the morning, Janet, 3 in the morning. I love you. I will see you in the next video. All right. I'll try, and next year I'm not gonna play. Videos all the time, videos all the time. I look forward to helping you. I can't wait for you to get a green card in any of these types of green cards. Even when you work for the UN for a certain number of time, years, I think you qualify. We have people in journalists, in the media, there are green cards for them. Okay, we'll talk about H1B visas, non-profit and those for profit, those that are lotteries. We'll talk about all that. Thank you so much. Good job. I see your comments. You have idea how you have no idea how you have positively impacted people. Thank you so much, Bosire. Thank you. I love to hear, because those are encouraging words. And I hear those every day from Canada. I hear them all the way here in America, and people are just sending dollars. Janet, I send dollars at home. I will see you in the next video. Okay. I love you so much. Thank you so much for coming. Okay. Bye bye, guys. Bye.